Hi everyone, and welcome to another Quarantine Genealogy. Working with Hispanic records. Today we're going to talk about birth records. This is Esther Camacho from the McAllen Public Library, so let's just dive right on in. Now I'm going to give you a brief recap from the previous presentation that I had done. Then we're going to talk about the types of records, reading the records, and where to find the records. Now the brief recap. Remember, there are social classes. Now you will see it on your records that everybody has a label. So everybody is in a different class. So you got your Españoles, your Mestizos, your Indígenas, your Indios, all sorts. These are just very few of very many different types of classes out there. So just know that everyone is in a different class. Now the naming structure. Just remember that in church records, you'll have a baptismal name before the given name. So you'll have like Jose Manuel or Maria Antonia. So that's very, very common. There's always two surnames, the father and the mother. And remember that women always retain their maiden name. They never lose it even after they've gotten married. There are two types of records. Remember, your civil registration and your parish registers, which are your church records. Today we'll be talking about those birth records. Now, anytime you look at a record, look for a pattern when you're looking at it. I normally have to look at several records to find that pattern. Now, when you're looking at civil registration records like this one here, they tend to be a little lengthy. So you'll need to just be patient and actually go through it. But you're going to need to just look at the pattern, look at the way that the writing is, look at its structure. So especially when some of these records are hard to read, sometimes you have to compare it with previous records so you can get what it's saying. And then when you look at it and you know its pattern, then you'll know, okay, I know what that word is. Look on the margin. See if there's information on the margin. This one gives you the record number. And as well as, it's got two names because it is the father presenting his child. And it could be anybody. I'm assuming it's the father, but I know it's the father. But it's always somebody presenting the child on a record. But not always. Some records, different states are different. Sometimes it'll just list the name of the child. And I can normally tell that I am looking, if someone hands me this record, I can tell that this is a civil registration only because the first line says en la Villa de Reynosa. Usually civil records always start that way, saying in the town of. Now, if you look in the bottom image to the left, you'll see that little image that has two pages. What I wanted you to look at was right on the top right corner is a page number. Now, that page number refers to both pages because when you open a book, that's considered one page. Now, later on, it changes where each page is individually numbered. So if this page is 47, if I were to flip the page over, the next page will be 48. Left and right side. So if your record that you're looking at is on the left side, remember to look on the right for the page number so that it includes both of them. Now when you're looking at this is a church record, you're going to look, it's got a margin, it's got the number of the record, which is 583, it's got the name of the child, Sisto Camacho. It's got nobody presenting like it did on a civil registration record. You've got the location, which is in El Rancho de Durazno, the jurisdiction of this church, then Matamoros, and on the date of record, which is the 26th of May of 1885. That is the date of the record creation. Goes on, and I can tell that this is a baptismal because he's talking about him baptizing and that he is christening the name of the child, Sisto, and right after that it says Nacido, And it gives right after that his date of birth, which is the 28th of March of 1885. So you've got the date of record, the 26th of May of 1885, and his birth record, which is the 28th of March. So make sure that you read your record carefully. I've noticed some people who will read a record, they see the first date of the record, they assume that is the date of birth. Really look into the record, look at that information, just in case it gives you a different information, because sometimes they're recalling it and they're finally reporting it to the church, and they're telling this is the date that the child was born, and that's the way it's recorded. And it does say that he is hijo legítimo, which is a great hint for me, saying that there is a marriage record out there somewhere for his parents. And it includes his abuelos paternos, his paternal grandparents, and then his maternal grandparents as well, the ones on the mother's side, which has Catarino Hernandez and Mauricia Lopez. And then the padrinos, which include Merced Guevara and Mauricia Lopez, which is his grandmother. Of course, next to her it says Católica, so now I know that they're Catholic, and I'm very confident that I can look in Catholic records to find either other children or marriage records. Now here is a civil registration record. Doesn't give me a name, but it does give me the record. It is number 13, and it does tell me in El Villa de Reynosa. And this one was recorded on the 13th day of March on 1873. And it tells me here the name of the man. He is married. His age, he's 31 years old, which I would stop right away and I'll calculate from the date of record 1873, deduct the 31, and I have a general idea when he was born. And it tells me natural de Linares, which tells me he's from Linares. So I should not look in Reynosa for a birth record for him. I need to go to Linares. Of course, hijo legítima, so that means there's a marriage record. And gives me information about the wife. And here is the esposa de Celaria Cerda, that she's 30 years old. So, of course, I'll get the date of the year of the record, deduct the 30, and I have a general idea when she was born. Now, it does not tell me if she's a native of Linares, so my first instinct is to say she was from Reynosa. And so I would look for her in Reynosa first. If I don't find it, then I will go follow him, and I would also look for her there. She could be from somewhere totally different, but that would be my way of looking for their records. But because it does not say where she's originally from, I would start with Reynosa first. Now remember that parish registers in Catholic Church starts around 1527. So on this record, and of course it tells me it's January, and that is record number 1, and they got the name of the child, Demetrio, and that little squiggly line there, that looks like sort of like a broken L. It doesn't have a bottom. It's actually an S. So it could be Santo or San Isidrito, and that's where he's from. So it's probably a little ranch community, a small town out there that he is actually from. And in there it does say that this record was created on the 1st of January of 1850, and that this is a baptismal because these are baptizing him. And of course you have to read the record, look into it, and it does tell me that he is 11 days old. So he was not born in 1850, he was born in 1849 in December. And of course he is from a legitimate marriage, so of Manuel Gutierrez and Refugio Mata, so I need to go out there and look for their marriage record. So where would you find your records? You'd look in Ancestry. Check your local library for availability, see if they have it. If you have a subscription, great. If you don't, check your local library. If they have it, then you can use it there for free. Of course, you can always use Family Search from home. It's always free. Just create an account. That way you can download the images of the records. And they have a link on there when you're looking at a record to cite the record. So if you click on that, it automatically cites it for you. Just a word of advice, don't forget to cite your sources. It's real important to always know where you got it, exactly what it looks like. Sometimes I copy the link down, the page number, if it's from a microfilm, the microfilm number, just as much information as possible of how to go back to that record if someone were to ask you. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask. Visit my MPL subject guide. By going to McGowanLibrary.net, going to Books and More, go down to subject guides. From there, just scroll down till you find Genealogy. It is constantly being updated, so go in there and look for more information. If you're looking for Hispanic sources, I have the tab. I just added a few more things in there just the other day, so be sure to look at it and see if it can help you. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to add a comment below and like us on Facebook. Next time it will be on Hispanic records, but marriage records. See you then. Bye.